A Green Spark. Chapter 11. I woke up with my face red from a dream I knew would be haunting me all day. I sighed as I sat up, glancing at Carl, who was still snoring away, all curled up in his blankets. Safe. I felt my face get hotter as I looked at him. That was it. I needed some fresh air for a minute. I hopped out of bed and quickly walked down the hall to the bathroom, getting ready for the day and splashing some water on my face. Oh, God. I look at myself in the mirror, unable to stop the redness, but that wasn't just what filled me with fear. What did was the idea that even if everything went well, what if it still went wrong? I shook my head, pushing myself away from the counter and walking out of the bathroom, quickly going downstairs and outside. But what would I even tell his mom anyway? I mumble, sitting on the picnic table. I rest my feet on the seat and look up at the sky. I couldn't remember if we had school today or not. I'll find out once Carl wakes up. I wish I could talk to Emma about it. She seemed to know a bit more than I did. At least a little than I talked to her almost a week ago now. Or maybe Star. It seems her relationship with that new guy, Winter, was it? It's going well, at least. I look at the ground as my palms get sweaty again. What if the feelings aren't mutual? I sigh and rest my head in my hands. That's scary. I chuckle and look at the blades of grass below me. I looked back at the house for a minute, my thoughts circling before I looked back up at the sky. Minutes passed, maybe close to half an hour before Carl came outside. I flinched and swung my head over once he opened the door. "Hey," he said softly, walking over to me. "You got up pretty early." "Yeah." I looked back up at the sky. "How'd you sleep?" "Oh, pretty good. I don't think I had any nightmares this time." I smiled as I looked back over at him. "That's really good." He smiled back at me and came to sit beside me. "What about you?" I tilted my head softly. "How did you sleep?" "Oh, pretty good." I feel heat come to my face once again as the memories of my dream flood my mind. He chuckled and shook his head. "Any dreams?" I felt hotter, my cheeks red, my neck warm. Yeah. I gulped down saliva that was filling my throat. "Seems like it was a pretty good dream." He laughed softly as he looks at my face. "Dream about girls?" He laughs a little harder as I turn my face away from him. "No. Technically, I'm not lying." That... I felt a chill flash over the heat on my face. "That's, actually something I wanted to tell you." He pauses and looks at me, a big smile still on his face from the laughter, tears in his eyes which made them shine. I pause, just staring at him. "Well?" I flinch and wave my hands, dismissing my thoughts. I'm bi-curious," I say quickly, my face red. He just smiles wider and pushes my shoulder. "Ah, so you were dreaming about boys." "Hey!" I say, glaring at him, a big smile stretched out on my face. "Welcome to the club." I groan and smile softly, shaking my head and looking at the sky once again. "Was it someone I know?" I glare at him, knowing he was hinting towards Winter. "Someone in your gym class?" I bite down my tongue and shake my head. Enough. Stop pestering me about it, Shrimp," I say, gently pushing him, my smile fading. All right. He smiles and jumps off the bench. "Come on, let's make some breakfast." "Scrambled eggs today?" I say, also hopping off and walking with him towards the door. "Yeah, we can add some of those peppers." I smile at his mom as she sits at the table. I wasn't sure how long she'd been there for. She looked happy. "Hey, Mom," he said, passing by her and walking over to the kitchen, grabbing out a frying pan. "Don't be late for school today." "Yeah, we won't, don't worry," I say, softly, grabbing out the eggs from the fridge. "We weren't even late yesterday," Carl said, spinning around and grabbing the spatula. His mom chuckled before returning to her paperwork. "No work today?" I say, glancing over her as I place the eggs next to Carl. "Working from home today. They had an issue with the fans at work, and since it's coming up on the hotter days of the year, they just emailed everyone saying if we were able to work from home." "That's pretty awesome," I say, smiling at her before turning back to Carl, helping him with cooking. "Hey, Lyra," I say softly, getting her attention again. She turns slowly towards us with a calm smile. "Did you want us to hurry to school to let you work more?" "Oh, no, don't worry about it too much. I'm pretty much all caught up in paperwork." She waved her hand and went back to her work. "Would you boys mind making an extra plate at all?" "Not at all," Carl said quickly, turning towards the fridge. I smiled and grabbed 3 more eggs before he could, starting to walk over. "Here." He smiles and takes them gently from my hands, my body shivering as his hands brushes past my wrist. "Thanks." I just stare at him as he starts cooking all of them. I shake the feeling off, still too scared to say anything, and grab out some bowls and spices for him. We ate breakfast with Lyra, chatting slightly, breaking up the silence every so often by talking about school or her work, but it didn't take very long to finish our breakfast and have to hurry off to school. "Look, Clinton, look!" I turn my head and I watch him as he runs up to the office window. "Look, she's already got half the votes!" I smile as he jumps around. "God, that's amazing. Do you think it was because of your rumors?" I say, chuckling softly. "I hope so. Everyone deserves to know she saved us, that she's so amazing." I sigh and nod, passing him his backpack as we walk to our lockers. "Carl, hey Carl!" someone says, running up to him. It was that same kid who he was talking to yesterday. "Hey, you must have a giant friend group!" Carl laughs softly, slinging his backpack over his shoulder as he shakes the guy's hand. "Oh God, no. Maybe 5 of those votes were our friend group." I smile softly, proud of Star for getting this far. I felt a lump in my throat as I think back to Emma wanting to ask her more questions, for advice, or anything. I shake my head and turn back towards Carl, watching as he chats with him. "What's your name?" I say, walking up to them. I wasn't aware of the stern voice I had until Carl looked at me, worried. I smiled softly, trying to show him I meant no harm. "Oh, I'm Jackson. You must be Clinton, right?" I glance down at his hand as he sticks it out for a handshake. I gently shake his hand, dreading the words that came out next. "It's really nice to see you two turn around." He laughs nervously as I draw my hand away to come back to my side. "Thanks for the reminder," I sneer at him, anger bubbling up before I shake my head and breathe. "I'm gonna get my books. Feel free to keep chatting," I say, excusing myself before I get worked up over nothing. "Hey, wait up!" Carl says, coming up beside me as I start walking. I watched as he waved Jackson goodbye with a smile and then quickly looked up at me, worried. "Clinton, are you okay?" I nodded slowly, unsure myself. He frowned and crossed his arms. "Don't lie to me." I chuckled and looked down at him. "I don't mean to lie, I just don't exactly know what's up." I glanced back at Jackson, feeling this pit. Seeing Carl happy with a friend shouldn't be so aggravating. I sigh and look up at our lockers. "I'm sure I'm fine." "Okay." He smiles as he opens his. "Hey guys," Emma said, passing by all of us in the hall. She seemed timid, but happy to say hi. "Hey," Carl said, smiling up at her. I felt my face get red as I wanted to ask her everything I'd been waiting to so fast. I gulped down the thoughts and smiled softly. "Hey, you doing okay?" She pauses in the middle of the hall, taken aback, and sighs. "I'll be fine." She seemed to wince in pain for a second before turning away. "See you guys later." I watched as she ran away. Maybe it was better not to bother her about things right now. I felt a cold chill run up my spine as I saw her run past someone, quickly speeding up and taking a turn away from our classes. "I hope she's okay," Carl says, watching her disappear around a corner. I still felt this cold chill reminding me how uncontrollable she was. I shake my head and nod, turning towards my books again. "Yeah, now come on, we gotta get to class," I mumbled, brushing it off. I could feel his eyes on me as we walked to class, and despite the obvious feeling he was worried about me, it was nice. I sat down, feeling a little uneasy as I stared up at the whiteboard. "You know, we could start studying for those finals. They're coming up pretty soon." I groaned and looked down at my books, sinking in my seat. "Do we have to?" He laughs softly and opens his books. "It's a good idea to. I really don't want either of us falling behind, and we missed a lot because of Ava." I shudder, and in a flinch, I snapped the pencil I was holding in my hand. We both looked at it, and I placed it down on the table, glancing at my hand for any splinters. "Clinton?" I sigh and look at the roof to avoid some random gazes. "Did you forget them today?" I flinched, my eyes widening as I looked at him. "Oh, God." His eyes widen slightly as he looks at me. I don't remember taking them at all." He smiles softly at me and glances at the paper in front of him. "I think you're gonna be fine," he says softly. I look at him a little confused, my nerves going haywire as I worry what it can do. "You've gotten better, and you don't have any threats to worry about. We're good." I calmed down, and his words felt so calming to my ears. Yeah," I mumble, still worrying. "Hey," I glance at him as he gets my attention. "If you want, we can run home at lunch and get you one." I sigh and grab a new pencil. "Nah, it'll make my sleep schedule so messed up if I do. I'll be okay," I say, more to myself than him. I can be the one to comfort you today, he says, leaning against me. I felt a shiver run up my spine as he laid his head against my arm.
Oh, no, don't say no thank you. Yeah, that'd be nice. Thank you.
The first 2 classes of the day went by pretty easily, but then, after a normal and calming lunch, just playing outside and eating sandwiches, I had gym. I looked up at the teacher, frowning as I noticed his stern expression.
Hey, can I sit this one out today?
I say to the teacher, pulling him aside.
What? You are perfectly capable of partaking in class. Now go get changed.
I frown, my hands feeling uneasy by my sides, holding my bag of gym clothes.
No,
I say sternly, looking at him as he starts to turn away. He didn't understand the risk that I was. He was there when I stabbed Emma. Everyone was. He should know.
Clinton.
He glares at me. I tried to soften my eyes as I looked at him.
Sir, please, I am not in the right state to be aggressive with others today.
I glanced at Star as she walked up to us, worry in her eyes. He narrowed his gaze on mine.
Clinton, you are a perfectly healthy kid. You can play a few games of soccer with the others. Get changed.
I stood there, my teeth clenched.
No.
Star flinched as she looked at me, then at the teacher. I couldn't bear to see the fear that flinched across Star's face before I turned away.
I'm spending this class in the office. Call my mom if you care that much. Clinton.
Hey, let him be, Star said softly. He's probably got a good reason. I flinched as I heard the heavy gym doors close behind me and let out a sigh.
The hell does he think he is?
I muttered with a tight grip around my bag. I walked with heavy steps towards the office, pissed about having to go there even if it was on my own volition. I flinch as I hear a soft set of footsteps behind me, swing my head around just to be met with Star walking a little distance behind me.
What are you doing?
She smiles and waves her hand dismissively. I got sent to the office for talking back to him. He's got a short temper, so I expected it. I sighed and glared at her, annoyed for putting herself in trouble for me. May I ask you something? I grit my teeth and swing my head back around towards the office as we start walking towards it together.
Fine.
She looked a little hurt, but continued. What's up today?
I forgot my meds, and I don't want some dumb, innocent kid to get hurt when I play too aggressively.
She sighed and smiled. It was calming how calm she was. I sighed and looked at her.
May I ask you something?
I glanced past us and paused, knowing we didn't have enough time to reach the office and be done talking.
You and Winter are a thing, right?
I watched as she turned bright red and waved her hands around.
Well,
I chuckled and smiled at her flustered state.
I like someone, and I want some advice. You and Winter seem happy, so I thought maybe you could help.
She calmed down a little and looked at me. Who is it? She smiled as my face got red, just like hers. Is it?
Don't. I don't even know if he'd like me the same.
She chuckled and rolled her eyes. He hasn't even looked at another boy. I'm sure he's got his heart set on you, all the same as you do. And he's oblivious to it. I sigh.
Or maybe he thinks that I just care for him like a friend, or even a brother.
I bite on my tongue and cringe at the thought. I glance back at the empty hall. Like you do? I tilt my head at her. Do you think he cares for you just like a friend? I nodded slowly. Then you're both wrong. You should tell him. I chuckle as she pushes my shoulder.
All right. Maybe I'll confess tomorrow.
Come on, we're gonna get in trouble if we don't go.
Oh, yeah, all right. Thank you, Star.
Thank you, guys. I paused and looked at her as we walked again. I know you two have been behind those nice rumors. Or at least Carl. I chuckle and rub my neck nervously. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, Bob.
She laughed softly as we continued walking. The rest of school was okay. My mom was called and was proud I took a step back on my own once we realized I hadn't taken my meds, and offered just the same as Carl did, but I got halfway through the day fine. I'm sure the other half would be good too. And it was. Classes were fine, and Carl and I did get started studying on our upcoming finals. They were a few weeks away now, but we should have been studying a month ago, especially with how far behind I've been. I was walking home with Carl at my side, and we had just finished talking about maybe staying in science room after hours to get some more studying done next week. It was a good idea, and I thought maybe if I did it more than once or twice, I would at least ace the next test. I hope. So, what do you want to do today? Carl says, jumping in front of me and walking backwards. Well, I'm not sure. I have to talk to Lyra about something again, and I was thinking of going somewhere tomorrow, and I was hoping you'd join me. He looks at me a bit confused. Is everything okay? You've been talking to Mom a few times recently. Oh yeah, don't worry. Just making sure she's okay with a few things first. I laughed softly, trying to hide the thoughts I had swarming my head. I couldn't do anything about any of them until I talked to her. Okay, so today we just relax? Yeah, if you think you can handle being calm for an afternoon. I ruffle his hair up and he laughs softly. I can do that, I promise. Sure you don't want to get more energy out on the trampoline first? I open our gate, letting him look around the yard. He pauses and looks up at me with a smile. Yeah, alright, I'll jump around a bit. Alright, Shrimp, I'll be inside. I smile and take his backpack before he runs over to the trampoline. I sigh and look towards the door, walking inside and setting our backpacks in the closet. Hey, Lyra? I yell softly up the stairs. Can we talk again? I'm in the living room, honey. I flinch as her voice comes from around the corner. Sorry. I say, walking to the living room and sitting down across from her. So, I mumble, sitting normally, my hands sweaty as I set them on my knees. You okay? I forced a smile as I felt my leg bounce, my breath coming calmly through my throat. Yeah, but... I chuckle, my nerves coming back to the surface. Maybe I should just spill it and say the words. Damn it, tell her! I like Carl. I felt my throat tighten at the words as they left my mouth. She pauses and looks at me, a soft smile coming to her face before she chuckles. He's the one? I felt my face get red as she connected my words to the last conversation we had. I nodded quickly, hiding my face as I looked down. Well, I'm glad my hunch was right. What? I say, confused and surprised. I didn't think she'd be so calm. I mean, what would her best friend think? What would my mom think? Would it mess up the relationship? She just laughs and grabs some papers from her desk beside her. I saw the way you looked at him. I remember looking at my girlfriend that way. She seemed happy as she looked out the window. I still sat there with my jaw on the floor. What? You don't mind? She laughs and shakes her head. Why would I? She laughs a little harder, concern lacing each giggle. I'm just worried about the relationship you and Evelyn have. I mean, would it change anything? We're already so close. It makes me happy there won't be any far moves, no worry of him being out past curfew with some mysterious kid. So, I can date your son? Did you want my blessing? I felt my face turn red again, looking down at the floor. Yes, Clinton, you can. I smile as I turn my head back up, stopping when she opens her mouth again. But, I pause, waiting for her to continue. If you break his heart, then there might be hell to pay, for both you and Evelyn. I promise I only want what's best for him. He deserves everything I could possibly give him and more. She just smiles at me. I'm just picking on you, Clinton. She sighs and nods her head slowly. Thank you, I say, sighing once again. I can only pray stars right now. She tilts her head softly. She thinks Carl likes me the same, but is thinking I like him just as a friend. The same thing I'm worried about. I sighed, shaking off the nerves. So I plan on asking him about it once we go to the mall. I thought taking him to get some ice cream would be fun too. That's sweet of you, she said. We both turned our heads to see Carl coming in the door. Hey, guess what? I finally did it! I landed a backflip! I chuckled as Carl waved his hands around excitedly. That's pretty awesome, Shrimp. Think you can do it again? Oh yeah, I can do it real easy! I chuckled again as he boasted. Okay, come on. Show me how good you are. I glanced back at Lyra as we walked out of the door again. I mouthed a polite thank you as we walked outside.